Hello everyone. As a colored pencil artist, I cannot live without all these tools and materials because they made my life a lot easier. Let's start with this wooden ruler right here. This is very cheap, but I need this on my side because I don't want my sweaty hands to touch the paper. So it's always there. It protects my drawing from my sweat. I think you also need to have this one. This is like a uh, metallic version of sandpaper right here. It's very gritty, and I use this is called, I think, the charcoal sharpener metal clip, or the other way around, metal clip charcoal sharpener. So this is like a clip because you can just clip it on any place you want, and it has this container right here. And I think when you sharpen the charcoal here, the powdered charcoal will be on this container and you can use it, the powderized charcoal. But I also use this with colored pencils. What I do if I want to have a powderized colored pencil, and where I'm gonna use the powdered charcoal pencils, I use it as a base tone. Sometimes I do this to be able to help me to cover or to hide the tooth of the paper, because I want to make, for example, if I want to make detailed skin tone but I don't want to burnish the colored pencils, but I still want the tooth of the paper hidden from view, because I want to make it look like blended, but I don't want to burnish. This way, if you powderize your colored pencil using this metal clip sharpener right here, okay, very quickly you will be able to get a very fine powdered colored pencil right here that you can use as a base tone to hide the tooth of the paper. So what I do is I let the powder to slide down here on the container right here of the powder, and just continue until I'm ready to put the powdered colored pencil as a base tone here on my drawings. So here, very important, very useful, not only with charcoal pencils, which is originally made for charcoal pencils, this clip sharpener right here, but I can use it also to powderize my colored pencil to make some base tone, powderized base tone, to help me quicken the drawing. And at the same time, you also need this. This is originally an applicator for pan pastels, but I also use this for colored pencils. And what I do is I use it as applicator, okay, to the powdered or powderized colored pencil right here, and you can just directly apply it on paper to create a very nice solid base tone. So this way you can be able to save lots of colored pencils. So these two, they come really well together. So this is also very useful for colored pencil drawings. I call it indentation tool or indenting tool or embossing tool. These are it has 2 points right here, and it has this nice metal ball at the tip, so with different sizes depending on what you will need for your drawing. What it does is you can create like highlighted details on the skin tone, because when you emboss, or what do you call it, when you indent the paper using the tip of this metal, what happens is it leaves a mark on the paper, and when you put colored pencil on top of it, the colored pencil is not going to penetrate the marks that you the indentation that you put using this indenting tool right here, and it creates really nice highlighted details, tiny details that is a little bit harder to achieve by using erasers. So I use this like on the skin tone. I for example, here on the this part of the forehead, there are some skin pores that seem to be very highlighted and very extremely white, like it's like a sweat or like a watery highlight. So what I do is I just press it like this, and it leaves this mark on the paper, and then when you put colored pencils, the marks will remain, the whiteness of the paper will remain, and it's not going to be penetrated by colored pencils to create really nice details. So you need this indenting tool also. Each colored pencil is very expensive, and you want to maximize as much as possible the colored pencils, but when colored pencils are this tiny already, it's going to be hard to use. So you need pencil extender right here. This is a pencil extender. These are very cheap. and you can just put your tiny pencils here, and then you can just maximize your colored pencils, and it's going to be easy to use tiny colored pencils. You also need this craft knife, and it has different brands, but you can just purchase the non-branded ones because they are cheaper compared to branded knives. And I use this to scrape tiny details. So if you want to show some highlights or tiny details, like here on the eyebrows, or you can use it on the hair, or even on the skin tone, if there are details that you need to add, it's very easy to scrape off using this knife to show the details, so everything becomes a little bit more realistic because of the details, tiny details that is not going to be achievable by using regular erasers. So you can see how beautiful, how nice and very detailed the drawings will be using this craft knife. You might also need, although there are different brands of these colorless blenders, but the one that I would like to suggest to you is the Prismacolor colorless blender. There are blenders that are waxy, that is not very nice and shiny to use with colored pencils, but whatever brand of colored pencils you use, you always look for the Prismacolor colorless blender, because if there are some parts of the skin tone that you want to be a little bit blended, more smooth, and if you don't want to use colored pencils, you can just use the colorless blender, and it will blend everything very nicely, and it doesn't affect the color of the skin tone because this is colorless. So yeah, look for the Prismacolor colorless blender. You always need a white pen. This particular brand, I love this. This is the Jelly Roll, and it's very nice because it has different sizes. So this is the tiniest size for tiny highlights. It's very nice. It lasts longer, and yeah, you can just create tiny highlights on the skin tone, basically on the eyes right here. So if you want to make it more realistic, your colored pencil portraits, you can really depend on this white pen. This is the Jelly Roll Jelly White Pen. So as a colored pencil artist, whether you are a beginner or you are already using colored pencils for a while, those tools that I showed you will give you a little bit of more confidence, I think, when you're drawing, and more secured, because you know that there is a better possibility of success on your portrait using all those helpful materials and tools. So I'm gonna continue on with this portrait. You can see it on the part 2 of this video. Bye bye, thank you very much for watching.